Like, there's a lot.
Most people in the industry are related.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Isn't that interesting? Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Think about it. Look at Wanye right now with his sons.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why he signed them to marry. I don't get it. The can't read.
It's not becoming of our culture, of our people.
But I'm going after our people. Do they sound like our people?
Hey. Hey.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Hey. Hey.
I don't know that.
What? And Jack, let me ask, because you mentioned...
I recognize the color, you know what I'm saying? But the spirit is all... You know, they selling melanin now.
I heard you could bottle it up. Jack, you mentioned Erykah Badu, and you had said that you are related.
Yeah.
Faith is related. And you had mentioned that your relation, you know, kind of the family tree of it all.
Just like Snoop is related to Brandy and
yeah,
Red
I just
Jack.
saw Instagram posted a list of people who are related. I was like, oh, like there's a lot.
Most people in the industry are related.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Isn't that interesting? Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Think about it. Look at Wanye right now with his sons.
Yeah.
I still don't understand why he signed them to marry. I don't get it. The can't read. Why would you trust a contract coming from a bitch that can't read? Clearly she didn't write it. And if she can't read, then clearly she didn't read it. So who's writing the fucking contract that those kids signed?
Yeah.
It ain't her.
Yeah.
And guess what? Considering the deal their father signed, I don't know. You know, Boyz II Men got fucked. They got raped by Michael Bivins. Raped. And I'm not saying sexual assault. I'm talking about pockets.
Yeah, man.
Right through.
Very bad.
They had one of the worst recording contracts ever. It was almost as if Michael Bivins was like having like PTSD from New Edition being a child star and said, I'm gonna find some real talented guys.
We're gonna do this again.
And I'm gonna fuck them over worse than we did. So we can say it happened to somebody else.
That's PTSD for you. Like, we're gonna make them relive it. Make them relive it. Goddamn.
Jaguar Wright has once again sparked intense conversations with her claims about Jay-Z and the NDA she had to sign while working with him. It seems like her words, often dismissed or ignored in the past, are now being revisited with a new sense of urgency. The resurfacing of these allegations against Jay-Z has sent shockwaves through the music industry, especially with the backdrop of the recent Sewell assault lawsuit. Let's delve into the intricate details of what Jaguar Wright had to say and how her experiences shed light on a darker side of the entertainment world.
You do that to another artist.
Yeah.
Why would you sit there and say, man, we had the #1 record and we were still on food stamps, and then force your group to do that?
Hey, man.
Why would you do that?
Be your own people.
You want to know how fucked off it was for Big Mike at the end of his run before he had to leave Boyz II Men?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Let me tell you how bad his finances had gotten after his wife ran through what lump sum of money they had on that god-awful soul food restaurant that lacked soul and promptness. 6 hours to get a turkey wing platter. 6 hours. We used to call it opening to get it in time for dinner. Get your order in as soon as they open if you want to have it by 6. That was the joke around Voorhees.
Jeez.
Jill bought their house. She got it cheap. It would have been a $750,000 home back then, but they were forced to knock $250,000 off the top because of the structural damage. Apparently, they weren't able to take care of that home. It was riddled with termites. Said the only thing holding it up was the paint. They needed the money. So Jill squeezed. And they sold that house for very much more than $400,000 less what it was worth. And they broke even.
So,
is it the way you hate me, baby? That was my cousin Alma that sang that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. The apple don't fall far.
You don't want to diss me,
The apple don't fall far.
You don't want to diss me. I know you. Bitch. Wait a second. Did you hear what I just said? Michael Bivins fucked over Boys to Men. And when Big Mike got sick, apparently there wasn't enough money available to help them through their hard times.
That's how it goes.
They didn't even promote that soul food restaurant. I mean, I can understand why it was some nigga shit, but maybe if they had got some real help, maybe they could have hired somebody to come in and help manage.
In recent days, social media has been abuzz with references to Jaguar Wright's prophetic accusations with a lawsuit alleging serious misconduct against Jay-Z and Diddy, making headlines. People are now revisiting Wright's earlier statements. She has long maintained that her time in the industry was marred by a culture of secrecy, manipulation, and exploitation. One of the most striking aspects of her revelations is the role played in silencing her and others who dared to speak out.
Right? She can.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, though. We were just saying, I had brought this point up. I said, Johnny Depp didn't sue just because he was going to get money out of Amber Heard. Like, it wasn't even about that. It was because he wanted to fix his name, for him to be able to get notoriety and jobs, the things that are, to whatever his legacy is in Hollywood. That's why he wanted to sue. He didn't really care about, I don't think he did it for money, because I'm thinking in my mind, like, he has to know that he wasn't going to get anything, to what he's worth. I think he sued because he wanted to clear his name from the Amber Heard situation, which she had initially put out. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I mean, you might not be worth anything, and they could sue you just to clear the name if they have the money to do so. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. You never know.
I totally agree with you. First of all, again, I just want to reiterate that I'm so grateful that individuals like you are covering this story, and you're not allowing her to change your focus onto something else that she thinks is more, significant. For example, I think she's fuming the flames for the accuser to take the heat off of herself, but you're still keeping the eye on the mark. Like, you're not allowing somebody to tell you, this is what you need to look at. Don't look at me and the lies that I'm spreading. And I just think that it takes a certain level of dedication to stick to what really, really matters. And that's commendable. It really is. And I appreciate people like yourself. For me, I do see a direct correlation between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I think that this is exactly the same situation in which a woman are making claims in order to get interviews. And I mean, she put out an article.
It was the Washington Post.
Correct. I watched the trial. She alluded to him being an abuser, right? And the way that Jaguar Wright has similarly done the same thing. She used his name and is now trying to, backtrack. But my thing is this: it was publicized. It's still on Netflix. Everybody, all the public got to see what was actually happening in the trial, which helped revert back the opinion, to which he was able to now then work again and, win back his favor. And I think that that's what Jay-Z should do as well. I think that if he does sue her, it should be publicized so that everything can be dismantled and pulled apart as far as the claims that she's made over the years. Because this is just one of many. This is one of many. There are so many vicious
there's many
accusations. Yeah. And my thing is, when I went on the Star Report, people were saying, well, Sunday, it sounds as though you are straddling the fence as far as...
Jay Wright has previously mentioned that signing NDAs was a common practice when working with Jay-Z and other big names in the industry. These agreements weren't just about protecting trade secrets or business deals, according to her. They were used to suppress any information that could damage reputations, even if it meant covering up unethical or illegal activities. Wright claims that these contracts served as tools of control, ensuring that no one could reveal the truth about what went on behind the scenes.
And Jaguar Wright. And it's not that. Nothing is black and white. And I do think that, you know, just being a person who's familiar with the music industry, I've been a singer since 18. I know what goes on. A lot of them have, you know, intercourse. The rappers sleep with the singers.
Yeah.
The actresses sleep with the directors. I mean, this stuff is common. You know what I mean? Like, it's not unheard of for there to be some sort of...
It sounded like, because I did hear you, and I felt like you were trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, right? Which happens a lot. Like, I have seen, like, for example, shout out to Sean Davy Way. Sean Davy Way, I remember that at one point he was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he was helpful to Jaguar Wright at one point, and she can't sustain any relationship. Like, I saw that play out too in OKP, Official King Pain. Like, these creators were very helpful at some point, you know, just trying to advocate for her, whatever they can do to help. But then it became to a point where she just backstabbed them. That's what she does. And that's what she's going to do to everybody because she's done it before. That's why I'm like, I hope that, you know, all calls are being recorded when it comes to this woman. Yeah. Expect your calls to be recorded. Expect them to be released. Okay. So if you've had a one-to-one heartfelt situation with her, she's probably recorded it. And it'll be released for content at some point when you piss her off and you're not on her side. I've seen she has done it to too many people here since 2020 when she first 2019, 2020 when she first came out. I saw it all play out. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, you know, I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. I feel like if you speak your truth and you're not a dishonest, deceptive person, you have nothing to hide. You know, if somebody puts out a private conversation, that's not a bad thing if you are telling the truth in whatever, you know, the context is. So I don't have any fear about being exposed. She thinks she can expose me. She really does. And she's probably researching me now. She can't expose me because I've already exposed myself. You can't expose someone who has nothing to hide, who doesn't have secrets. She accused me of being a terrible mother, saying that I'm on the internet all day, not taking care of my child. She made false allegations about me being a sex worker. So she inflates things. And ironically, her son has gone on a huge platform with over 1 million subscribers and talked about at a great length of how terrible of a mother she is. And she went...
Her allegations are chilling. She has spoken about witnessing abusive practices, including keeping people against their will and manipulating situations to ensure compliance in an interview. She even drew parallels between these tactics and the tragic case of Aaliyah, implying that some of the industry's biggest stars have used their power to exploit others without accountability. Wright's statements paint a picture of an industry where power dynamics are skewed to protect the powerful and silence the vulnerable.
I agree with you on that, but have you seen this photo that went viral on social media? It's a photo of Diddy, Aaliyah, Andre Harrell, Dame Dash, and Jennifer Lopez. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I seen it. I briefly looked at it while I was online. But I think that picture is from Bad Boy Weekend in the Hamptons. It was Bad Boy and Rockefeller Weekend in the Hamptons. You understand? It was, I remember Stacey Dash and Aaliyah, they was on Rockefeller team. You understand? And Bad Boy had their artists and stuff like that. And they were all playing softball up there in the Hamptons. And later on, Puff gave a white party, you know, at his house. He gave a party at his house, you know, the one he had in the Hamptons. And I was the one who was letting people in the front. I had the door in the front. So when people drive in, they come up in there, whatever like that. I was the one who let them in. It was a private party like that, only for Bad Boy and Rockefeller people. but it was nothing like freaky about that picture, nothing like that. I think he got the idea from, it used to be this club in Miami, and they used to have beds everywhere. So I think he was just trying to get that type of feel like from Miami, like that club was. So, but as far as some freaky stuff, I think that's like a week later, Aaliyah died in a plane crash, after that party up there. So, it wasn't nothing freaky about that, man. That's just people making up shit and saying things. But it was nothing like that. I even got a picture from that weekend where I'm on the baseball field, walking, and Puffin them was like in front of me right there. I got that picture still. It was a Polaroid. I still got that picture. So you know how people are gonna make up stuff, they're gonna cut, paste, post, and all this other stuff for views, and then try to make it seem like it's something when it's not.
Yeah, they trying to make it seem like it's something it's not. But how you feel about Diddy lawyer? He trying to get him transferred to a jail in New Jersey to get better access to him?
It's not up to Diddy lawyer. It's up to the prison system. The judge even told him, the judge cannot tell the Department of Corrections, the prison department, how to run their prison. Now, he was supposed to get him in some kind of medical facility because of, he think that his life is in danger. Yeah, every prisoner life is in danger. So they trying to get some special treatment for him.
What makes Jaguar Wright's story even more compelling is how often she's been dismissed or ridiculed for speaking out despite the gravity of her claims. She has faced backlash from fans, industry insiders, and even fellow artists. Many accuse her of seeking attention or attempting to tarnish the legacies of loved figures like Jay-Z and Bey. But as more allegations emerge, it seems Rye's warnings were far from baseless. Instead, they might have been early attempts to shine a light on a system designed to keep people silent.
But that's up to the prison system based on his evaluation, from his psych evaluation. And they looking at the fact that Epstein, who may have some dealings with Diddy, he died in that place. So they may have a good case, but it's still up to the prison system to decide where he go. The lawyer, and they don't care how much money you got, but it's based on the lawyer. So that's why if you seen online recently, people coming out, they getting ex-COs or wardens or detectives to speak out and say how dangerous Brooklyn MDC is. That's their lawyers them paying people to come out and talk about that, so to try to help persuade the courts, which is the part of the prison system, to see what they're gonna do. Would they do anything to say, yo, listen here, man, this guy's life might be danger over here because people think that he has something to do with Pac, people think he has something to do with Biggie, and they right here in Brooklyn. You understand? It's right here in Brooklyn, and some of the people are still mad that he made Making It a Band walk to Brooklyn from, to get the cheesecake, and just around the corner from the Cheesecake Factory. So, Junior's. So it might be some dumb shit. So y'all need to get him out of here and ship him to Jersey because somebody gonna kill him over here. Those are good arguments, if you want to call it, but it's bullshit. He gonna get the same treatment no matter how much money he got from them correction officers. Because if they don't and they get caught giving him preferential treatment, they gonna lose their job.
So you feel like Pac fans will try to do something to him?
Pac and Biggie fans. He can have issues with both of them because A lot of people think because of the statement that Keefe D made that he did something to Pac. A lot of people know or think that because of Biggie leaving, they finding out that Biggie was leaving Bad Boy, that he may have had something to do with Biggie. People feel that way. You hear it all the time. You see it all the time on the chats and all that stuff.
Have you heard the reports about Diddy being worried about his kids?
Bro, he get phone conversation. He get a phone call just like everybody else. And now they got all kinds of things where they got guys got.
The recent lawsuit involving Jay-Z and Diddy has given her words new weight. The allegations in the lawsuit, which date back to an incident in 2000, have prompted many to revisit Wright's interviews and public statements. Social media users have been quick to highlight how her claims align with the disturbing details of the lawsuit. Comments like "Jaguar Wright literally predicted this, and she's been right all along" are flooding platforms like Twitter, with some users even apologizing for not believing her earlier.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000. In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" He added, "My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people." Joining us now, Joey Jackson, senior legal analyst and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. There's a lot to unpack here. Joey, I want to start with just the statement from Jay-Z, which is so forceful in its denial. I just read a teeny part of it. It's long. Where he says that they should file a criminal complaint. Is that even possible at this point?
So based on the allegations, Jessica, good morning, good to see you. I think that it certainly could be. Why do I say that? Now, he, of course, is more than annoyed, would be an understatement.
Yeah.
He has a family and he has a lot to protect, including his brand. But to the extent that he's saying, hey, come after me criminally, that could be likely. Why do I say that? Because rape in New York, and what's alleged in this complaint, is forcible compulsion. What that means in English is that it's saying that he held her down, raped her, and that, of course, the allegation is that Mr. Combs did the same thing. And so if those facts are actually accurate, it would require an investigation by prosecutors. And if true, right, you could pursue it criminally. Now, with respect to the evidentiary value, yes, it happened 24 years ago, right, more than 24 years ago. But in the allegations, there's a few things. Number one, there's allegation that another celebrity was present at the time, right, in addition to other people. Number two, there's the claim by the victim, right, that she left, that she went and she was seen by a gas attendant who saw her in distress. Number three, that she phone called her dad, who showed up, the 13-year-old, and now removed her. So civil complaint, simply allegations, needs to be proven in a court of law, but if true, it could rise to the level of criminality, and, you know, we'll see what happens, or if the DA looks and investigates.
So what happens now?
So what happens now is this is simply a civil complaint. And in a civil complaint, it goes through the technical legal process. Now, the distinction, Jessica, between civil and criminal, of course, is that civil is for monetary damages, right? The system can only reward you with money. There's allegations that this 13-year-old is suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
This shift in public perception has also reignited debates about the role of NDAs in the entertainment industry. While NDAs are legal and often necessary for protecting confidential business information, their misuse can have devastating consequences. Wright's experiences suggest that these agreements can be weaponized to suppress voices and shield perpetrators of abuse. It raises an important question: how do we strike a balance between protecting legitimate business interests and ensuring justice for victims?
Oppression, etc. So now you go to fact-finding, right? Before that, just briefly, there was a demand letter sent. And a demand letter is a letter being sent by a lawyer saying, hey, I don't have to sue you. We can sit, we can mediate it. If we reach an agreement, it never sees the light of day. Jay-Z saying, I don't care about your demand letter. I look at it as blackmail. You want to sue me, sue me. You want to look at it criminally, look at it criminally, but it'll go through the fact-finding process. If a trial is necessary to determine the facts, that's what will happen, but it'll be deemed civil. No indication at this point as to whether or not any criminal investigation will ensue as a result of this.
Yeah, and Jay-Z came back incredibly forcefully against these allegations and really singled out that attorney as well for being, I'm paraphrasing here, but greedy, saying he's out to get money, and calling that letter essentially blackmail.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Jessica, also suing the attorney, saying he's intimidating him, harassing him, etc. Now, demand letters are not new. What lawyers do is they send them out as a matter of protocol and practice so that you can expedite the process. At the same time, there's certain ethical standards that you have to use, and you have to have a good faith factual belief that this is true. Now, you can argue this complaint was filed in October, right? Could have mentioned Jay-Z then. You didn't. Why? It was amended now to include him. Are the factual assertions true? Are they fact or fiction? Is it a money grab or not? All of that will be litigated in a court of law, but according to Jay-Z, this never happened, is pure fiction. It is a money grab, and he's fighting for his name, reputation, and certainly innocence and justice in his view, which is he didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, and you touch on a point, too, that I wanted to ask you about, which was that this was an amendment to this already existing lawsuit. What are people to take away from that? The fact that they're coming back and adding to this now with this specific name?
Yeah, Jessica, so it depends. That's also common. You could amend lawsuits, right, as a matter of course, and you do, to include certain factual allegations. The interesting thing to me in terms of your question and the takeaway, if you had this information about Jay-Z, it happened allegedly in September of 2000, why not include it in the original complaint? What happened between October and now that necessitated you putting in, and it's a question of credibility. Was he celebrity A, right, as was noted in the October complaint? Is this pure fiction? And what's interesting in the complaint is he really, that is the lawyer, tries to tie Jay-Z to Mr. Combs in so many ways, right? Birds of a feather is the argument that he's making. You can make that argument. You need the facts to sustain it. Let's see if they come up with any facts.
All right, we will see. All right, Joey Jackson, thanks so much.
As for Jay-Z, he has denied the allegations in the lawsuit, calling them an extortion attempt in a strongly worded statement. He not only refuted the claims, but also challenged the accuser to file a criminal complaint. Instead of pursuing a civil case, his response has added another layer of complexity to the ongoing discussion. While some see his statement as a firm denial, others interpret it as an attempt to deflect attention from the underlying issues raised by the lawsuit. And Wright's accusations include Jay-Z, whose real name is Sha Carter. The woman alleges that both men assaulted her at a party in the year 2000 when she was just 13 years old. Jay-Z is married to singer Beyonce and says he's being blackmailed. Jaguar Wright's revelations about Nas and her time working with Jay-Z are more than just a glimpse into the dark side of the music industry. They're a call to action for all of us to demand better from the institutions and individuals we support. Whether you believe her claims or not, her courage to speak out deserves recognition, because if there's one thing Wright's story teaches us, it's that silence is never the answer. And thanks for Celebrity Spill.